Adam Cole should have been one of the biggest WWE superstars of this generation. Charisma, in-ring intelligence, promo ability, presence, he had the full package. He was a sprinkling of CM Punk and Shawn Michaels with a wonderful dose of everything else that made Adam Cole unique and special to himself.
The lights, you got the fog machine, you got the girl. You know what they do to make Adam Cole feel special? They ring the freaking bell.
And in NXT, he became the face of an entire era. A once-in-a-lifetime talent who looked destined for the pinnacle of WWE's main roster. And yet, outside of a magnificent Survivor Series build and appearance in 2019, that moment on the main roster never came. Which is even more bizarre that it fell apart because Adam Cole was balling in 2019 as NXT champion. Not only did he become the longest reigning NXT champion ever, but in the span of a month that year, he put on clinics with Dom Dijak in a ladder match.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Adam Cole secures the briefcase!
And appeared on Raw and SmackDown to face two of WWE's premium stars.
Can Rollins regain gold tonight in a super kick? Covered by Cole! Covered by Cole to retain, and Rollins kicks out.
His match with Seth, first of all, that crowd was way too dead for the dream match that they were getting. Second of all, it ended in DQ, but Daniel Bryan, he pinned clean on SmackDown.
Bingo! So right! The last shot! Adam Cole has beaten Daniel Bryan!
Instead of all this momentum leading to one of WWE's biggest stars of this decade, they let him slip through the cracks. Cole left to help build AEW and the company's first golden era in 2021. He rose again to the top and then saw his momentum erased by injuries and missed opportunity, leaving Adam Cole amidst a massive cloud of uncertainty as to whether or not he'll ever wrestle again.
Thank you for making AEW so special, and thank you all so damn much for changing my life. I love you always.
Adam Cole.
That's hard.
Do you think he's done?
I think...
NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3, the moment the lights dropped and Adam Cole debuted, flanked by Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish.
Title match! What did I do? Oh my God! It's Adam Cole! It's Adam Cole! What the hell? Adam Cole, baby!
NXT had officially entered a new era, and that era was Undisputed. Adam Cole didn't just join NXT, he took control of it. The Undisputed Era became one of the coolest acts in the company almost immediately. Their look, their chemistry, their ring work, their promos, everything clicked for this faction. Not to mention I am once again making another retrospective and bringing up how at least someone's theme song used to be, but the Undisputed Era theme will forever be goated. And I've got something for you, the theme he used pre-WWE.
Certified Hood Classic.
And I'll say this next part quietly, it's an unpopular opinion, but I kinda didn't mind Thunderboom. Cole brought a confidence and a swagger that fit perfectly into NXT's black and gold identity at the time. Just months into his run, he became the first ever NXT North American champion, winning in a chaotic ladder match that set the tone for his entire NXT run. He was NXT's centerpiece. He was Triple H's golden boy. Which, bit of a sidebar, but that North American title ladder match is still to this day one of the greatest I've ever seen. It's a shame that everyone in that match had a downfall in one form or another, which led to them no longer being in the company. Whether it was their fault or not, none of them are on main roster right now like we would have maybe expected. At the time, everything that was happening down in NXT, it seemed like the future was so bright for an otherwise drab main roster, but Adam Cole wasn't just another top star. He was the star that NXT had been waiting for. 2019 cemented everything Adam Cole was. Cole and Johnny Gargano produced a trilogy of takeover matches that are still to this day considered some of the greatest matches in WWE history. Don't even get me started on the masterpiece that is NXT TakeOver New York. But the special nature behind that match doesn't happen without the perfect dance partner, and the perfect partner was Adam Cole, baby. When Adam Cole finally won the NXT Championship, the message was clear. This is Adam Cole's era, and that is Undisputed.
Panama Sunrise on the title reign of trying to go.
During his over 400-day reign, the Undisputed Era held all the gold, which was part of their arc at the time. Adam Cole became a fixture of what made War Games so special in NXT. He survived countless classics against the likes of Gargano, Balor, Ciampa, and Matt Riddle, and he proved that he could wrestle any style: technical, hardcore, high-flying, storytelling heavy, or explosive main event pace. He could do everything. Cole helped NXT tremendously through the Wednesday Night Wars with AEW Dynamite, often working 2 segments a night and even appearing on Raw and SmackDown during the Survivor Series build, as I mentioned earlier. And even though they ultimately lost to AEW, this will always be such a phenomenal era for NXT for me. I mean, NXT's entire initial Black and Gold run is terrific, and still to this day, it's one of my favorite weekly shows, even through the tumultuous 2.0 era. But even in defeat, Adam Cole was consistently a standout wherever he went. He faced Daniel Bryan on SmackDown in November 2019, which was a last-minute improvised match due to the travel issues surrounding Crown Jewel in 2019. Cole delivered a WWE main roster match of the year candidate though. That match alone convinced thousands of fans who had never seen him before that Adam Cole is a future WWE champion. But inside WWE, by the powers that be, the perception was different. As Adam Cole reached superstardom in NXT, the main roster issues already started looming. WWE had some concerns. Not with his talent, not with his promos, not even with his connection to the fans, but with his size. It's a criticism that he's heard before and a criticism that many wrestlers in a similar position have heard before. It's part of what makes Bryan Danielson such a beast, because amidst his size, WWE themselves did everything to rip his momentum away. And yet he still went on to Main Event Mania twice, become a first ballot Hall of Famer one day, and then go to the competition and say, I think I'm gonna go bleed and pot on cinema with Okada, I'll see you later. But even though Adam Cole routinely outperformed wrestlers twice his build, Vince McMahon reportedly didn't see the same top guy aura that Triple H did. And then came the Keith Lee manager rumor. A report surfaced in 2021 that WWE had considered turning Adam Cole into a manager for Keith Lee on the main roster. Cole later clarified the truth behind this situation, saying the idea was never formally pitched directly to him, he didn't agree to it, and it never really reached his ears in a serious proposal. But Cole did also say that he would have tried to make anything work because he's a professional and he always gives everything to the role he's given. Even still, around this time, the rumors were not so crazy to believe, because on main roster, names were changed, appearances were altered, and NXT call-ups were creatively rewritten and ruined. I mean, take a look at Karrion Kross, for example. Upon his main roster call-up, he became a Templar for some reason. I don't even think they were promoting Assassin's Creed. Or the man I made a retrospective on recently, Keith Lee, clawed his way to Raw as a Bearcat for some reason. Cole realized quickly what many NXT stars had learned before him. The main roster didn't value what made them special in NXT. If Vince wanted to remold you in his own way, it was gonna happen. Plus, NXT shifted toward the colorful 2.0 era, and Cole's place in WWE became even more uncertain. The Undisputed Era had split, the brand was moving on to future stars, and away from indie darlings. With his contract quietly expiring in 2021, WWE assumed that he'd resign, but he didn't. AEW All Out 2021 was a turning point in modern wrestling history. It is still to this day one of the greatest pay-per-views ever, but in of itself deserves its own retrospective another day. The crowd erupted the second the first note of Adam Cole's new theme hit because it was all about the boom.
One of the greatest talents in the entire world is wearing the right colors.
Cole walked walked into AEW as one of the hottest signings in the company's history because he was a proven main eventer from day one. Reuniting with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega instantly made him a cornerstone of the company. His early AEW run once again showcased his comedic timing, his sharp promos, a renewed edge in his in-ring work, and a natural chemistry with the AEW roster of whom he had worked with many of them before. And he had the ability to fully express his character without any restrictions. He won the Owen Hart Foundation tournament alongside Britt Baker DMD, challenged Hangman Adam Page for the AEW title, and became one of the most consistently featured stars on Dynamite and Rampage at the time. Many assumed that Cole was on track to become AEW World Champion. He had the trust, he had the presentation, and he had the momentum. He even eventually had Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong back by his side to reform the band. But once again, timing had other plans. Forbidden Door 2022 changed everything. In the 4-way IWGP Championship match, Cole suffered a serious concussion. This was not a minor injury because it followed a previous concussion. This one was life-altering. Headaches that wouldn't stop, difficulty standing up, severe sensitivity to light, and an overall fear that he may never wrestle again. Post Forbidden Door, he even shared that he was seeing a brain doctor 3 times a week. After not being cleared for those first 2 months, he took a brain test. Pro athletes are supposed to score a 120 in this test, and worryingly, Cole only scored a 38. Thankfully, months later, he took it again and scored 160, but in the meantime, he disappeared from TV, and his future became a huge question mark. Fans genuinely did not know if Adam Cole would ever wrestle again. When he finally returned in early 2023, it wasn't just another comeback. This was emotional, heartfelt, and incredibly real.
We have not seen Adam Cole in months, and he is back. Big shocker. Great to see Adam Cole.
His 9-month journey to his in-ring return would culminate in a match against Daniel Garcia a couple months later.
Adam Cole, here he goes, the boom, boom, connects, covers, wins.
His babyface turn felt natural, it felt earned, and it felt deeply human. Everybody was ready for Adam Cole's redemption arc. And even through the triumph and tragedy of his career, he had at least one more chance to shine and show the world how good Adam Cole truly is. Cole's partnership and eventual rivalry with MJF became one of AEW's biggest storylines of the year. Their chemistry was natural and it was undeniable. They were best friends with brilliant comedic timing and yet deep emotional beats at the exact same time. These were 2 characters who shouldn't work together but did tremendously. The double clothesline gimmick and ROH Tag Team title win at All In 2023 became a genuinely beloved moment.
Oh, Fletcher sent in.
At this point, everyone started imagining where this would end up. To most, it was Adam Cole defeating MJF for the AEW Championship, but then fate struck again. In September 2023, during a run-in segment on Dynamite, Cole shattered his ankle in multiple places after jumping off the entrance ramp.
That's Adam Cole there. Adam Cole.
The injury required multiple surgeries and a year-long recovery timetable. AEW storylines had to be rewritten, and sadly, Cole's momentum vanished overnight. And the heartbreaking truth, AEW had protected him, rebuilt him, and positioned him for his biggest moment yet. And within an instant, it was gone. After months of silence, rehab updates, and uncertainty surrounding his catastrophic ankle injury, Adam Cole finally made his long-awaited return at Wrestle Dream in 2024.
And MJF looks like he's seen a ghost. Here he comes and he's running full blast. Wow.
Barreling towards the ring to prove to everybody that his ankle was now made out of a Nokia 3310 and not glass. It wasn't just a comeback, it was a relief for those who feared that he may never wrestle again after consecutive career-threatening injuries. Cole returned looking refreshed, sharp, and most importantly, confident. The company leaned into the emotional weight of his life, presenting him not as a smug heel or a comedy character, but as a veteran who had fought his way back from the valley of death. And regardless of whether he's a heel or a face, everybody has always embraced Adam Cole. And they certainly were going to upon a return like this. The story felt poetic. He just survived multiple concussions, he survived ankle reconstruction, he survived the stop-start momentum that could have ended lesser men, and for the first time in years, it felt like things were going to be undisputed once again. On April 6th of this year at AEW Dynasty, Adam Cole won the TNT Championship, marking his first major singles championship in AEW. It wasn't just a title win, it was
Vindication!
This was the run Adam Cole had earned through years of setbacks and triumphs. A mid-card renaissance that many believed would finally propel him into the AEW World title scene. He was wrestling with precision, talking with fire, and once again, becoming one of the most compelling characters in the company. And for a moment, everything made sense again. Adam Cole was back, and on a grander scale, AEW was finally getting back to what made them so special. But fate, once again, had other plans. Just a few months into his TNT title run, tragedy struck again. Adam Cole suffered his third major concussion, a devastating blow for someone whose history with head trauma nearly ended his career once already.
He struck, and now Fletcher.
This one was not just another injury. This was dangerous and potentially even further life-altering. These are the kind of concussions that raise serious questions about long-term health, especially when you consider how concussions have affected other pro wrestlers in the past. It's no joke. For the first time, the conversation wasn't about a comeback. It was about whether or not he should wrestle again at all. Cole stepped away, and AEW quietly paused all plans involving him. And we now fear what may be coming next. Just 2 days after suffering yet another injury, Adam Cole addressed the world at AEW's All In Texas.
I have some health issues. Will not allow me to defend this championship tonight, but I am going to be gone for a while.
His tone says everything. It's somber, reflective, and honestly, it's heartbreaking. Now, he didn't necessarily say retirement, but everything was kind of pointing towards it.
Thank you for making AEW so special, and thank you all so damn much for changing my life. I love you always.
He reflected on the support of fans and how much he loved pro wrestling, and he admitted he wasn't so sure for the first time in his life if he'd ever wrestle again. This wasn't a storyline, this wasn't an angle, this was real. A man coming face to face with the limits of the human body after giving everything for 20 years. And perhaps this was a system that Cole just couldn't shock. Everyone wiped away their tears as Cole's latest rise had ended in yet another heartbreak once again, and this time it felt final. It's currently November 2025, and so we ask, where are we now with Adam Cole? Well, Tony Khan sat down on the Ariel Helwani show this week and gave a candid update about Adam Cole's status.
I lied. One more name, Adam Cole.
That's hard. That's hard. Adam Cole, I love so much, and I think Adam Cole's such a great wrestler, but also he's a really good friend. And it was very, very hard when I got the phone call the morning of All In Texas that Adam Cole was not feeling well. And he's had injuries, and it's no secret some of the injuries he's experienced have been head injuries. And it was terrible when Adam Cole had the ankle injury, and when he needed time to recover, it was just, you don't want to see him in so much pain, but also it could have been, that alone could have been a career-ending injury, and he was out for over a year. And he came back from that, and he was wrestling at such a high level. And I was really excited about what Adam Cole had done in 2025 to work his way into a top position and become the TNT champion. And it was a great comeback story. And I'm just glad that he was able to tell us when he didn't feel good about wrestling anymore. And
Do you think he's done?
I think it would have to be the right situation for Adam to wrestle again. I think it's at least possible that we would keep Adam as part of the family. But I want to get to where he feels good about traveling and doing things every week again. But I've been open with him that when he's ready, there's always a role in AEW for him. He had been a commentator at times, and he's been one of the hosts of the shows. He's great for that. He's a great talent. He could be involved in a lot of things. And if he ever did want to wrestle again and it was the right situation and everybody could wrap their heads around it, so to speak, I think that it could make a lot of sense. But if anything involving head injuries or serious injuries, I always want to look at it and evaluate, does this make sense? And is there an opportunity to do this safely where it's going to be a good outcome for everybody?
TK's comments were emotionally raw, but they said everything. Tony isn't hiding from the fact that Cole has been through the ringer in his career. He had multiple concussions, an ankle injury, a long layoff, and then a resurgence briefly. It seems TK at least has Cole's best interest at heart though. At this point, Cole's return to the ring is not guaranteed. It depends on his health, but currently it's not looking good, bruv. Perhaps the idea is a scaled back role for Adam Cole, and likely creative conditions that protect him from some of the more insane spots this company has to offer should he ever return. Thankfully, even if Cole doesn't wrestle full-time again, it's obvious TK wants to keep him involved. He may transition from almost main event world champion to mentoring the stars of tomorrow, along with special appearances or a non-wrestling on-camera role like a GM. I think should AEW ever open up their own performance center, Adam Cole is someone who could offer a ton to upcoming wrestlers, because even amidst his brain injury and a career sullied with unfortunate moments, he is still one of the best minds and bodies of work in the business. As of now, Adam Cole is still working his way back from injury, and I truly do wish him the best. We don't know if/when he'll return or what version of Adam Cole we will get. He's still at an age where he could take time to focus on his health and then have a renaissance second half of his career like Shawn Michaels. He's certainly talented enough to still become world champion and charismatic enough to lead this company. But the pattern of injuries and halted momentum is impossible to ignore for anyone. Every time he gets close to the top outside of his NXT run, something stops him. It's not for lack of talent, not for lack of passion for the business, but because fate has never lined up with his biggest opportunity. If Cole's career is over, he will go down as a huge what if for both main companies, but equally, he's a leader of eras and a generational performer. And if any wrestler can come back from a 3-1 deficit, it's Adam Cole, baby, and that, boys and girls,
That's undisputed.